Hi everyone, I'm delighted to be joined today by Harry Gill, who is the co-founder and CEO of Envisage Dental. I'm sure many of you will have heard about Envisage Dental already. Having started the group with a single location, Envisage Dental has steadily built up a reputation for being the challenger brand that is redefining group dentistry, particularly within the private pay market. It is a great pleasure, Harry, to be having you on our talk today. I'm really looking forward to chatting to you. But first of all, the big topic and a big congratulations to the fact that you have become the first dental group in the UK to achieve B Corp accreditation. Congratulations.
Thank you for that.
I know we'll touch on that in more detail. Harry, before we talk about that accolade, can you just give me a little bit of colour around how you formed Envisage Dental with your wife, Sandy? Tell us a bit more about your background, how you got into dentistry, just a wider perspective on how things have evolved.
Sure, yeah. So we started Envisage in 2014, where Sandy and I decided to go into the private pay dental space, and we purchased our first clinic in Hampshire. We then kind of steadily grew, acquiring the second clinic in 2015, which was actually called Envisage. So our first clinic wasn't called Envisage. That's where we adopted the name. And since then, we've been handpicking high-quality private clinics to be joining our group. So today, we've got a team of just under 800 people, delivering about 500,000 appointments a year across the country, something we're really proud of. So yeah, along the way, we've collected some accolades of being a part of the top 50 ambitious leaders in the Telegraph, Sunday Times Fast Track 100. And as you mentioned, most recently, B Corp accreditation. We're very long-term, we are, Sandy and I. We've been doing this now for almost 10 years. We've got at least 20 years in us. We're not going anywhere. So for us, it was very much just create the company that we can be just super proud of as it grows, and not race to any kind of size or flip or anything like that.
Yeah, amazing. And it's very fitting that this discussion's happening in March, which is B Corp month, isn't it? And again, a huge congratulations to you and all at Envisage. I would like to kind of know more about it. What, I suppose, first and foremost, what is B Corp for those who don't know?
B Corp started in the UK in about 2015, and ultimately it's a play on a benefit corporation. So it's a company that is more than just about profit. And so to become a B Corp, you take on a legal commitment. You actually change your articles of association, and what you're doing is you are equally balancing social and environmental factors alongside profit, so that as a shareholder, you're kind of serving all stakeholders. So I guess unlike normal companies who just maximize profit for shareholders, a B Corp has a much more wider angle in making sure it's serving also its people, its customers, its communities, and being very transparent in its governance. So that's B Corp. And I think today there's over 1,000 B Corps in the United Kingdom now.
Can you share with us just where and when did your B Corp journey begin? What sparked it?
I think Sandy and I first came across B Corp in about 2018, maybe 18, late 18, early 19. And at that stage, I think we thought B Corp are for big companies and big organizations, and you need a massive team behind it. And it's probably not quite correct for us. But reading around B Corp, we really were drawn to it because it wasn't just about sustainability or environmental impact. It really balanced out the impact you have on your people, your customers, your communities that you operate within, as well as the environmental aspect of it and governance. We already had a culture of doing all of that. We just never really formalized it. So that was the first kind of, I guess, door opening to B Corp. And then in 2021, we decided again to relook at it. And it was 2022 that we started our journey to actually get the accreditation, because we felt we were already doing what a B Corp should be doing. So the accreditation kind of made sense for us.
What was the process like to get B Corp status? How long did it take you to achieve this?
It's quite a rigorous process. 50% of applicants get declined on the first round. So it's not easy to get certified. I think that's the draw with B Corp. The traction, they're really look at what you're doing, and they really make you commit to that assessment. So the very, very first thing is you have a massive assessment that goes on, and there's a scoring system. If you score high enough, you then get invited to the next round, which is the audit and verification. And then if that all goes well, where you can evidence everything you've said you're doing, it then goes on to any improvements that you could make for the future, because the accreditation lasts 3 years. And then as part of the whole accreditation, you have to change your legal articles of association to really commit to this journey. So it's not a small task. It is quite rigorous. But I think that's fair as well, because they're trying to really create a community of companies that really want to be a force for good, and not just say it, but actually really behaving in that way as well.
The benefits of becoming B Corp might appear obvious to some, but was there anything that surprised you as you were obtaining that accreditation?
It wasn't surprising, but the nice thing was that as we were going through the verification and the scoring, we were doing a lot of the things that were wanted from a B Corp. I think the other thing, which again we weren't surprised at, but it was nice to see, a lot of our colleagues really respected what we were doing in that space and getting B Corp, and there was a lot of enthusiasm for people to want to join in the course. So, across our nurses, reception, managers, dentists, clinicians, a lot of people really care about the impact of a business and what they're actually doing away from the day-to-day job. Just how the workplace you're creating, your views on long-term productivity and how you're doing that, your environmental impact, how you serve your communities. People do really care about that. It's not just a job. And I think there is a big movement towards companies now becoming more purposeful, because I think their employees are really demanding to join a place where they feel fulfilled.
You're clearly leading the charge in your profession in dentistry. Do you think the sector, including the NHS element, is doing enough to challenge and promote those benefits that you're talking about?
I think it's a work in progress. Obviously, in the dental space, we use a lot of PPE. There is carbon footprint. We deal with hazardous waste. Our industry is not the easiest industry to be the most sustainable and environmental friendly, but I think it's a journey, and it starts with education. I think a lot of practices just don't understand the impact of what they could make. I think it's easy to just give up straight away and say, oh, we can't be sustainable because we're a dental clinic. We use lots of PPE or single-use products. But I think there is a journey and there is a route. And I do see over the next decade, as suppliers start educating practices, and as groups like Envisage really start shouting about this, it's not impossible to become sustainable, or at the very least start the journey. Everyone starts somewhere. And if 15,000 practices across the country all decided to do one small thing, it will make an impact. So I think the industry has started its journey, but we've got a long way to go yet.
I know we've had a number of transactions where we've acted for our clients, sold to Envisage, and those relationships have always been very good. I suppose with our acquisition hats on just now, I'd like to ask you, if you're now looking at a certain practice to acquire in the future, will that criteria potentially be different with a B Corp status in mind, or can any practice evolve to become part of the kind of B Corp accreditation that you've got?
I think since we started, we've had a flight to quality. So, we've always been hugely focused on the private pay dental market and high quality clinics within that segment. And so naturally, even when we were going through B Corp, we were already behaving in the right way. And that's just a reflection of the clinics that have already joined us. It's not us going and implementing lots of change in policy. It really is lots of high quality clinics coming together. So I don't think it will change our criteria. We're still very much around having the best quality clinics join us, where there's an alignment in how we treat our people, how we serve our patients, and how we act in our communities. So that's always been there since we started. I think that will continue. I think the bigger thing will be that, this is us really committing to the fact that we're locking this in legally. It's a legal lock-in commitment. It will last for years to come, and therefore we will always be balancing, our social plan, our environmental plan, and our profit. So that's the key thing now, that sellers can take comfort in, that this won't be changing through our growth or anything.
Just to wrap up, Harry, do you have any advice for anyone who wants to become B Corp accredited or is considering it?
I think to start the journey, I think the first thing is probably you can read around it, but you don't have to become a B Corp certified business to treat your people right, or to really look after your patients, or to really become the fabric of your community that you operate in, or for that reason to have transparent governance. So I think that my advice is just create a great culture, lead a great organization. If that leads to B Corp, I think that's great, because they can endorse all your efforts. It is rigorous, and if anybody needs any help, they can reach out to Envisage. We're more than happy to assist anyone. But the key for us is we're just trying to inspire as many people to just run great businesses, and that definitely means looking after your people, looking after your patients, serving the communities you belong in, and just being transparent with everything you're doing.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, excellent way to wrap up there. And I can certainly vouch for everything that you've said there. Harry, thank you very much for your time today. It's been lovely to hear about that journey. And again, massive congratulations to you and the wider team.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.